Hi, Tanisha. Hi, Jennifer. Hello, Kenny. It's Dr. Cairns with some verbal feedback to go along with the rubric. First of all, I'm going to start with the end, your evaluations of the process, what you thought about it. And I'm glad that it was a great learning experience for each one of you, and that you encountered some things along the way that you might change and do differently to enrich the findings as well as participation. I will say, Jennifer, I did not get your written evaluation, so that may be an oversight on your part, and you can still submit it, but I know obviously you participated in the process of gathering data. So I'll be able to give you some points, but if you want more, then you need to make sure I get your evaluation, your personal reflection on the paper. With that, I'll start with the executive summary, and you wrote a really good one, and you piqued my interest to want to read more about your paper. So you gave me really the headlines and the detail that is essential to include in an executive summary. And I liked when you mentioned you would think that the Salvation Army was a well-oiled machine, and some words like that catch someone's attention and wanting them to read more, and I did. So when we go into your actual data gathering, you had 6 individuals. They were across the organization, say the hierarchy. One thing that's actually interesting to me is that usually you'd have this be anonymous, but the results obviously came out and they were by job title, so it was hard to keep some anonymity there, or people would know what they were saying. You drew some good conclusions. I like your table that you had. And you mentioned the calculation of methodology, and you mentioned 4, but you needed to include and say what the 4 meant. If it was above 4, that would be an area for focus. But nevertheless, even those areas that scored within the range that would be considered healthy, you mentioned areas to make it even stronger, and I think those were some good observations that you made. You included some other supporting references and research to support your findings and validate what you were recommending and saying. I liked when you went through each one of the individual areas in your review, purpose, rewards, and etc. It would be helpful just to include like a short definition of what purpose meant, and same thing for rewards and that as well. So just a brief understanding. So you have to operate as though nobody knew anything about this particular questionnaire. So, but I liked the thoroughness that you did, and you included that as well in your recommendations. So I'm glad it was a good learning experience for you. See the rubric for continued improvement.